Doc?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time we have two Hall of Famers in the building.
Yeah, I beat you to that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, did you beat me to that? I'm sorry. I didn't know you were doing my announcements, so my fault. It is impressive.
Doc, obviously, you heard about Derrick Rose injury and everything. What were your thoughts on it?
Well, it's awful. You know, you want Derrick playing. You want him playing. You know, I was telling Tibbs this. It's funny. I'm watching the game and I called one of my assistants and I said he's about to break loose. You could just feel it. You know, he just felt like he was just about to break loose, and then that happened. So that's just, you know, I'm just hoping he's back healthy this year. I think it'd be great, obviously, for Tibbs, but more importantly, it'd be great for the Bulls and great for Derrick. He deserves it. Yeah.
Doc, they played last season, you know, without him.
Yeah.
I think they can kind of.
Yeah, they'll be okay. I mean, they'll be fine. They know how to play without him. You know, they've gone through it. You know, I think from a coaching standpoint, I think they're really looking forward to knowing exactly. You know, we dealt with Kevin, Rondo. We've had these injuries in Boston, and I always thought it was easier to know than the unknown. He'll be back in a week. He'll be back in 2 weeks. You know, I think it's much easier when you know the exact time. It just helps the guys in their focus.
How much can you learn about players 2 through 12? A guy like Rose with that kind of
Well, there's a, you know, I won't even say the coach's name. He once told me you don't want to learn about 2 through 12, you know, but you will. You'll find out some stuff. I think you always discover one guy maybe that wasn't playing a lot that you'll find that guy, and Tom will find that guy, whoever that is. It could be T. You know he's playing. He may play more and be more comfortable. You know, it could be someone else. But you do find, I don't know if you find them all, but you find one guy that you add to your rotation.
When a team loses a guy like Derrick Rose for whatever period of time, does that kind of ignite a spark throughout the rest of the team to kind of step up more so?
Well, I think in their minds, yeah. But you don't just lose a Derrick Rose or Chris Paul and think you're better. I mean, of course, yeah, a lot of guys feel like it's their time now. You know, but you still lose Derrick Rose.
What, you went through that as a player, were taken away from you.
Mm-hmm.
How was the player dealing with that when you had
That was hard. It was you know, I talked about this a year ago. It was for me, and I think my 8th or 9th year, so I had the ACL. It was hard. I had to go to Pat Riley, was the coach, and I just begged him that I didn't want to go to the games anymore. Wanted to get away, you know, because it's hard when you're a player, especially like Rose, you know, not me, but a Rose, you know, it's tough. It really is. The rehab is brutal, but more importantly, just you're sitting there, you're not a part of it. It's just really mentally very difficult. I can't imagine it back-to-back years. That would be very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, how do you get through the mental uncertainty of your career?
That's the tough part. That's because you don't know. You know, the unknown. I mean, and I was back, you know, right on the cusp, thank gosh, of the ACLs where you could actually come back and play. You know, previous to that, Bernard Kings, when you had that, it was over. You know, for the most part, even though he made an All-Star team after that. But it's tough, you know, because, you know, what makes a player like a Rose or, you know, any of those guys is their confidence. And, you know, when that starts getting questioned, it's tough. So I'm just happy it's not an ACL. But we have to wait and see what actually happens when they go in. But the mental part, Sam, you're right on it. That's the whole key now for Derrick.
Doc, growing up, what was your relationship like with the Chicago Bulls and kind of?
Well, I had a strange one. I was a Knicks fan growing up because when I grew up, you know, I guess it would be like the kids now. You know, if Dwayne Wade was one of your favorite players and LeBron was one of your favorite players, when they went on the same team, you're like, oh my gosh. Well, for me, Walt Frazier was one of my favorite players, and Earl Monroe was one of my favorite players. And when they joined forces, then I started following them. Having said that, I went to a lot of Bulls games. Reggie Theus, I'm sure, has told people 1,000 times I would meet him at, was it X? Gate X or whatever it was.
3.5.
At 3.5 at the old stadium. I wore a size 13 when I was in the 6th grade or 7th grade. I thought I was going to be at least 6'9". That's how I was working on all my post moves. That explains why I couldn't shoot. But I would meet him outside, and he would give me his sneakers. And so I wore them some in grade school and high school. Well, in high school by the time he was there.
Being from Chicago, is it still special competing against?
Yeah, I love it. It's, you know, it's where I'm from. Still ridiculous Bears fan and White Sox fan, and you know, yeah, it's Chicago. I know whenever we play them, my entire family is watching.
When Tibbs was on your staff, was there any moment that you said, this guy's a head coach?
Never.
Never.
I used to think this guy's crazy. He's nuts. But no, I knew he was going to be a head coach. I think everyone knew it. You know, I actually had a great talk with Pax on the first time when they had a job opening. And, you know, I really thought Tibbs was probably penalized because we went to the finals. And then the second time came around and they waited for him, which was great.
Have you ever been involved in back-to-back games at 12?
No, I don't think so. I gotta think I had to been once, but I don't think I've ever played in a back-to-back 12:30 game. It is absolutely strange.
So how do you think your guys deal with this? I mean, they get used to it.
Well, they're young, so they haven't had the history of not doing it, you know, so I'm thinking they're fine. I don't know, honestly. Well, you know, it's our 4th game in 5 nights, too, so, or 5 days. You know, I don't even know what that is. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know these things. I will find out after the game.
Doc,
Yeah.
Doc, you said 4th game in 5 days, 5 nights. So obviously the legs might be a little bit of a concern. How do you plan for that, or how do you counter it?
You don't plan. You plan for it during the game. You know, like you're aware that it could be an issue, and you don't. If you see 1 or 2 guys, then you sub. Other than that, you play guys, and you don't worry about it. It's still early in the season. He's just still young and learning. He's getting better though. You know, I like that he took shots the other night. You know, instead of the hesitation, we need him to keep doing that. I think Reggie's going to be a really good defender in our league. You know, I thought that before. Now watching him, he's gotten hurt a couple of times. He gets lost in the runners. You know, chasing any of those guys is no fun for anybody. But he's going to be a really good defender that can shoot, and that's valuable in our league.
There was one time in OKC game when he was in the game with Jared Dudley.
Mhm.
He still took this on like Kevin Durant, but he's a moment too. That's something that you see that he enjoys doing. He's not going to back down to someone that he is.
Either that or he's not very smart. I mean, he should have come in the game and said, "Des, you take Durant." That's what I would have done. But I noticed that. I don't know if I was real particularly happy with that decision by either one of them. But yeah, like, he's not going to back down. You know, the big college guys, they've been in. I mean, they've been in huge games. You know, so they're not. The lights don't scare them.
When a team comes in, you know, injured and stunned,
Yeah.
like the Bulls are, how do you, as the team play in that?
Well, we better be ready. Especially the first game, Sam. You've been around this. You know that first game, they're always ready. It's the 3rd and 4th game when you start. I felt like when the team starts realizing, wow, he's not here. First couple, I think, like last year with Rondo, what did we win, like 8 in a row or 7 in a row, and then we realized Rondo wasn't coming back. We turned a whole different way, and I think that's how they'll be. They're a dangerous, angry team would be the way I would, what I've told our guys, and we have to be ready for that tonight.
Doc, you referenced after yesterday's win that the defense in the first quarter is maybe some of the best that you've seen from your team early here in the year. What needs to happen for that to be a similar thing in the 4th quarter?
Well, I thought the 4th wasn't bad either the other night, at least the last 5 minutes. You know, we were down 5.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. We were down 5 and got stops in a row and scored. But we just got to grow and get better at it. You know, we're getting there. We're you know, step by step, but we're getting there.
How's Jared?
Same thing. You know, just not healthy. Not unhealthy enough not to play, but he's getting better.
What's it going to take to go up against the Bulls today?
We got to match their physicality. You have to be patient on offense enough to execute your stuff. You know, what Tibbs does as well as anybody is he'll take you out of your first option. If you're an impatient team, then you can really struggle, and we've exhibited that at times. So I'm concerned by that. And then defensively, you have to be ready to play for 24 seconds. You know, they'll take the first shot and the fifth shot. You know, they have great discipline. Thanks, everyone. How you been? Any go? Anything? We'll go on to that. Does Nick know that?